I want to show you two prints I made this week, and I'm going to start with the one that did not work. This is the overworked version. The more I didn't like it, the more I kept adding to it, and the worse it got. And then I went back to this one. This one started off as just a random pull to get some of the wet paint off of my gel plate. Once the first print had been overworked and I was frustrated with it, I took a color shaper and some transparent paint, pulled it sideways across this, and this appeared. Suddenly it was a piece I wanted to keep. Today I'm going to walk you through what happened and why I think making the messy version first isn't a mistake. It's actually how we get to the version that works. Hi there, this is Jackie Schomburg. I'm an artist who figured out that art works best when it is low stakes, low pressure, and done frequently. I'm here to give you back the creative life you thought you didn't have time for. And I do wholeheartedly try to practice what I preach here, because I made this on a day yesterday that I did not know what I wanted to make. I wanted to make some sort of jelly printed something. I did not think through a color palette, which is probably fairly obvious, and I think ultimately part of the reason this did not work out. But I just wanted to play. I wanted to try to do some painterly things on my gel plate, transfer it over a piece of paper, and see what would happen. Now, I already told you I didn't like the results, but I think there's some value in going through to see what, I guess, just to talk through what went wrong. Okay, this part seems fine so far. No big deal. Making some marks with my screwdriver and just painting. Now, you may notice that some of the paint was, I was going to say like peeling up, not peeling up, but sticking to itself rather than the gel plate. Let's say that. I wanted to try to get some of that off because it wasn't staying flat. So in taking some of the wet paint off of this, you see I got this page on the left. Now, we will come back to that. I pulled that off and thought, oh, that's cool. But whatever, I do that a million times a day because I'm a paper hoarder. I dried off the gel plate and went back to painting it. I, again, didn't have anything in mind. I wasn't working from anything in particular. I just want to do some horizontal lines, get something working. I thought here I would put an opaque background, since when you gel print, the whole thing goes backwards. So I knew that the top layer that I painted would be the bottom layer when I printed. Anything I'd used so far had been fairly transparent, and I wanted to tighten that up. Again, I will say I thought very little about any kind of color palette. Which, to be fair, I normally don't think a lot about my color palette. I just grab some colors that I like. Now, I did get a little lost here. I wanted to add some different greens, definitely some different blues, get some darker values, and perhaps this is where it started going south. I decided that could be a little body of water, some little spiky plants around it, a little reflection of the sky. All these things probably would have been fine if it hadn't been a gel print, although I didn't love how it was looking already. And so what did I do? I just kept going. But that's okay. Trust me, I go a lot farther than this on this one. Now, I will say that perhaps I was thinking too much on here, because I often get in trouble when I think too much. I really wanted this to be something cool and fun. I painted it all white at the end because I wanted to make sure that it would transfer and I could get it all wet at the same time so that I can get my page to stick to the paint on the gel plate before I took the pull. I often, when I use the gel plate, just print and then pull the prints. I don't wait for anything to dry. And this time I thought, you know what, I'll put some weights on it. I'll leave it overnight. So this morning I came down, pulled off the paper to reveal what I had created. Drum roll, please. I guess you've already seen it. Well, you saw the very end of it. You've not seen this version yet. I will say it was highly successful in the sense that it really pulled off almost all of the paint off my gel plate, which typically does not happen because I typically don't leave it and I typically don't, do what I'm supposed to do. I don't like to follow rules, guys. I don't know what it is. Anyway, this is probably where I should have stopped. I probably should have left it alone. Now, I knew that the paint was not solid across the whole thing. I knew there'd be some holes and gaps because of how the paint was lying on the gel plate. I figured I could just paint over that, add some transparent things. It would still give depth. It would still allow the painterly effects that existed to show through. And I kept thinking, if I add more, it will help. I can help this. And I'm laughing because in hindsight, of course, everything is 2020. It's so much easier to see, oh, I should have left that alone. Should have covered some things up. Should have stopped with the transparency. But, I mean, you only learn by learning, and you only learn by doing. So that's what I did. So after this was beyond frustrating at the time, I finally remembered I should just stop. So I set that one aside, came back in with some quinacridone red so that it would be transparent over these cool marks that I liked the first time I saw them, and thought, oh, okay, this is interesting. And most importantly, it felt so good. It felt so good to drag the paint across the paper, instantly transform half of that page with some, vibrant color. This is nickel azo yellow that I added, and all I wanted to do was keep going. It was so calming and so soothing to me to just drag the color across. This requires, by the way, zero artistic ability, requires zero skill, maybe a little practice with the color shaper, but I mean, there's no art course needed to take a color shaper, dip the tip in just a little bit of paint, and drag it across the page. Easy peasy. My whole nervous system wanted to keep going. So the first print felt hard. It felt uphill the whole way. But if I didn't do the first print, I wouldn't have this one. And doing this, there are also holes here where you can just see straight through the paper. This is not covering everything within this rectangle of the print, of the Gelli print. What's it called? The Gelli plate. There we go. I just had enough to make the shape, to pull some color across, and it works better, right? Sometimes leaving it alone is the harder choice. Did I think at some point about putting a glaze on it and grabbing, a wet paper towel and filling in those spaces? I did. And I'm so glad I resisted that, because aesthetically, This to me looks like a much more authentic landscape. And I was not trying. I wasn't trying to make a valley path between mountains. I wasn't trying to leave clouds in the sky. But that's what I see now when I look at this. How cool is that? So when you're overworking something, and you realize that you've overworked it, or something just feels hard and it feels effortful the whole way, sometimes those do turn out pretty and they do turn out nice and you're happy with them and it's great. There's always a challenging part of every painting. So don't hear that if it feels hard, it means you're doing it wrong. That's not true, right? Everything has challenges. And there are other times when it just feels so right and good just to make it, that it doesn't matter what it looks like. This just happens to be that I lucked out and it felt good and I like how it looks. That's the sweetest spot to get to. And you can't really plan it. It just happens or it doesn't. So sorry for that news. However, these are 5x7 prints. This is my smallest Gelli plate that I have. The smallest effort that I put in to these two prints is right here. This is the print that was the most successful. It proves that less is more. Making small actions can be the most powerful actions. These feel effortful. You can see all of the strain that I had in there. But the paint was waiting to become this. One more thing before I go. I keep coming back to this idea that less is more, the quick 5-minute thing, the low stakes thing, the pull from the print that was never supposed to be the outcome. I was just taking paint off. The thing you almost didn't bother making. I've been building something around this idea for a while now. I'm going to be sharing more about it with my newsletter subscribers first, including something I'm only offering to them at a price that will not be available anywhere else. So if you're not on my list yet, the link to subscribe is in the description of this video. I'll be sending details soon, and I'll see you next time.